A powerful new exhibit at the Wisconsin Veterans Museum shines a light on the healing process of post-traumatic stress disorder.
More than 60 works of art created by Wisconsin veterans of the Iraq, Afghanistan, and Vietnam wars are on display. They're part of the Return and Recovery program, which was started by Tim Mayer and has helped more than 2,000 Wisconsin veterans cope with the wounds of war. What is it about creating art that is so healing for veterans who have experienced trauma, PTSD, and traumatic brain injury?
Well, I think one of the important things is, in one of the hallmarks, if you will, of our program, is that the veterans are asked to tell a story. It's really visual storytelling, and it's done on their terms, in their words, and there is no judging going on with regard to the picture making. Because I have a lot of veterans that say, you know, I can't even make stick people.
They're intimidated by art.
Yes, but, you know, the other thing, I'm glad you brought that up, Susan, because another thing that's important is, as children, we generally love to have the crayons brought out by the teacher and engage in art. What happens along the way is somebody sees a piece of artwork that they make and they say it's ugly or it's stupid, and that's just crushing. So one of the things that I do to establish what we do with our veterans, along with creating a peaceful and tranquil environment, working with a mental health professional, is to let them know that I want to reinvigorate them and reintroduce them back into, whether it's using crayons or colored pencils or markers, or just graphite, to make an image to tell a story. Because as I said, it's really visual storytelling, and it is told on their terms.
So the portrait you painted over your shoulder is sort of the inspiration for the whole program.
Yes, yes. This is USMC Ryan Jerebeck of Hobart, Wisconsin, and I believe he was killed in 2004. And we presented a lot of the portraits to the families, but Ryan's father wanted me to keep this portrait and share it with others wherever I traveled. So when I go into the VA at Toma, I will have this portrait or another one like it with me, and I share it with the veterans as a way of remembering this person, this veteran, so they're not forgotten.
Let's take a look at some of the stories.
This is a dragon, and this is how this Vietnam veteran sees his monster, his demon, his PTSD. James really doesn't have any artistic background at all, and when he came to us, he was, I'll say he was in rough shape, but he has really made great strides in the years that he has been attending. He's found a lot of support with our group. All of these photographs were taken by James when he was in Vietnam. He has written some things, which makes this doubly powerful, because if a veteran can create something artistically and then also write about it, I have seen it really help people, because not only are they're telling you their story in several different forms.
But what's so interesting about this exhibit is some of them are very provocative, like this one, colorful and sort of aggressive, and others are much more subtle and serene. The interpretation is completely different for different veterans' experience.
Yes. You know, sometimes you're seeing what a veteran has made the first time, sometimes the second time, sometimes the fourth time. And as you see the progression, you know, when I work with veterans at the PTSD program at Toma, for example, if I'm working with a veteran for the third or fourth time, and they've drawn their trauma and maybe a secondary trauma, so I will say, well, why don't you draw a picture of your progress? How about drawing a picture of what you would like your life to be after you're out of treatment and you're back home? Something like that. Because we also want to show and to stress that people are making progress in the program and they are getting better. You know, the trauma doesn't go away. Nothing that important that happens to you in your life is going to be forgotten. But what's important is how you look at it and how you deal with it, how you cope with it. So developing coping skills in a PTSD program is very important.
The exhibit opens to the public tomorrow, and it is on display at the Wisconsin Veterans Museum on the Capitol Square, right next to the state capitol, until May of 2016. If you'd like more information on the Return and Recovery Program for Wisconsin veterans, check out afourth.org.